Hey everyone, today's video is going to be awesome because today we're uncovering the top 15 most breathtaking hidden ecosystems on Earth, each one a sanctuary of life like no other. They're home to rare and wonderful life forms that have been thriving in secrecy and isolation for hundreds or thousands of years. And trust me, some of these feel more like an alien world. Let's begin with number 15, the Azores. Not many people talk about the Azores, and that's probably why they've stayed this raw, clean, and beautiful. Sitting out in the North Atlantic, about 870 miles from mainland Portugal, these islands belong to the Macaronesia region, along with Madeira, Cape Verde, and the Canaries. You'll find the capital, Ponta Delgada, on São Miguel, which is the largest and busiest island. Flores, way out west, marks Europe's edge. The whole archipelago was shaped by volcanic activity where three tectonic plates collide, leaving behind crater lakes, cliffs, and beautiful big black sand coasts. On these islands, Mount Pico stands tallest at 7,700 feet, while laurel forests stretch across São Miguel. Over 6,100 unique animal species live here, with 410 found nowhere else on Earth. The waters go even deeper: reefs, sharks, whales, sea turtles. Marine zones like Dom Juan de Castro and Formigas Islets are protected inside the Azorean Marine Park, covering more than 52,000 square miles. It's the kind of place where nature still has the last word. Number 14, Komodo Island. If Komodo dragons weren't enough, the island they rule over is just as intense. Komodo Island sits between Flores and Sumbawa in Indonesia and anchors Komodo National Park, spanning more than 1,900 square miles. The terrain rises into cloud forests above 1,600 feet, while below, the landscape shifts between savanna and mangrove-lined coasts. The island's star, of course, the Komodo dragon, the biggest and baddest living lizard, patrols its dry hills like it owns the place, just like the Snake Island. But the real magic kicks in along the northeastern reef zones. Over 1,000 fish species and 260 types of coral thrive in its waters, along with blue-ringed octopuses, pygmy seahorses, and the occasional whale shark. Dolphins and sperm whales pass through deeper channels. Since 1938, the area has been protected, first as a nature reserve, then a biosphere reserve in 1977, and finally a UNESCO World Heritage Site by 1991. Komodo is a rare collision of land and sea evolution that hasn't blinked once in centuries. Number 13, Kenya's Great Rift Valley. The Great Rift Valley in Kenya stretches roughly 300 miles from the Ethiopian to the Tanzanian border. It's a part of the vast East African Rift, formed by the gradual pulling apart of tectonic plates. As the Arabian, Nubian, and Somali plates drift away from each other, the land splits, forming cliffs, valleys, and volcanic landscapes that continue to shift. Kenya's segment is packed with ecological diversity, especially its lakes. Lake Turkana, the world's largest desert lake, spans 150 miles, supporting hundreds of bird species and aquatic life. Other lakes like Bogoria and Nakuru are shallower and alkaline, blooming with blue-green algae that sustain insect larvae, crustaceans, and massive flocks of lesser flamingos. These birds, in turn, oxygenate lakebeds and reshape shorelines. The Kenya Lake System, comprising Lakes Bogoria, Nakuru, and Elmentata, is a sanctuary for over 13 globally threatened bird species. It's also a vital feeding and breeding site for pelicans, flamingos, and dozens of other migratory birds. Number 12, Zhangjiajie Valley. Now, this one is pretty famous. In the heart of China's Hunan province, you'll find a unique destination that looks like it belongs on a surreal album cover. It's called Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. Known for its towering stone spires, dense forests, and dreamlike scenery, this UNESCO World Heritage Site inspired the floating mountains in James Cameron's blockbuster Avatar. Often called a stone forest, the park's quartz sandstone pillars stretch skyward, creating a fantasy-like landscape. It covers about 21 square miles, with its highest peak in the Tianzi Mountains rising 4,100 feet above sea level. Tianzi, meaning Son of Heaven. The park's highlight, Avatar Hallelujah Mountain, stands out among countless other formations. Life thrives here, from the forest floor to the canopy. Lush vegetation includes rhododendrons, azaleas, and ancient ginkgo trees that change with the seasons. Wildlife also flourishes. Nimble macaques swing through the trees, while elusive civets roam below. Bird lovers can spot golden pheasants and songbirds along trails, where every step reveals another hidden marvel. Number 11. Valley of the Ten Peaks. In Alberta's Banff National Park, around 108 miles west of Calgary, this valley frames one of the most iconic scenes in the Canadian Rockies. 10 jagged, snow-draped peaks tower over the vivid blue waters of Moraine Lake, creating a land that looks painted. Though the valley's footprint is small, its impact is huge. Reflections of the peaks shimmer on the lake's surface, especially in summer and early fall when the wind stills and the water glows. The ecosystem thrives within alpine and subalpine zones. Stands of aspen, spruce, willow, fir, and maple fill the slopes. Wildlife here is serious. Apex predators like wolves, black bears, grizzlies, and coyotes roam freely. Cougars, lynxes, and wolverines patrol higher ground, while elk, moose, and even caribou wander the lower areas. Mountain goats, porcupines, Pikachu-like pika have all carved out niches in this harsh alpine world. It's a brutal, beautiful wilderness, ideally balanced. Number 10. Galapagos Islands. There's no place quite like the Galapagos, and that's not just a tagline. We mean, like for real. These islands, scattered off Ecuador's coast, are the very definition of evolutionary one-offs. Volcanic in origin, they rise out of the Pacific with jagged cliffs, black lava beaches, and highland cloud forests. The tallest point, Wolf Volcano on Isabella Island, reaches 5,600 feet. Each island is its own lab. Marine iguanas dive off rocks. Flightless cormorants paddle like birds that forgot how to fly. Giant tortoises move like time's not real. Scalesia trees, daisies the size of shrubs, dominate humid highlands. At sea, the Galapagos Marine Reserve protects whale sharks, manta rays, sea turtles, penguins, and fur seals across one of the largest protected marine zones on Earth. This is where Darwin sharpened his theory of evolution, and for good and great reason. Life here doesn't follow the usual rules of Mother Nature. It rewrites them. Number 9. Simien Mountains. Northeast of Gondar in Ethiopia's Amhara region lies the astounding Simien Mountains, part of the Ethiopian highlands. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, its national park is known for dramatic plateaus, plunging valleys, and towering peaks, each adding to its stunning ecological variety. These mountains formed from volcanic eruptions between 40 and 25 million years ago, with lava flows creating thick basalt layers and shaping a shield volcano. Today, remnants of that massive volcano, including Ras Dashen at 14,850 feet, define the range's rugged silhouette. Cliffs and canyons carve out striking views, with Jin Bahir Falls tumbling into the vast abyss. The park's most iconic resident is the Galata monkey, the world's last surviving grass-eating primate. Found at elevations above 8,800 feet, Galatas graze for hours and live in massive, highly social groups. Alongside them live the elusive Ethiopian wolf, the rarest wild canine, and the nimble Walia ibex. Even caracals lurk in these highlands, completing the park's vibrant wildlife. Number 8. Viñales Valley. Viñales Valley is a striking karst landscape stretching across more than 51 square miles. It is recognized as a UNESCO site since 1999, and this valley is known for its dramatic limestone formations, called mogotes, that rise abruptly from the valley floor, some reaching nearly 1,000 feet. These ancient hills, paired with the valley's tropical climate, shape one of the most distinctive ecosystems in the Caribbean. The land here thrives year-round, with the region's tobacco crops standing out thanks to the rich microclimate and traditional farming methods still practiced today. Farmers continue to hand-harvest and air-cure leaves that are prized worldwide. Beyond tobacco, the valley supports a number of rare plant species, including Pachira imbricata and the mountain palm. Here, wildlife includes Cuban giant anoles and countless insect species. Together, the valley's geology, traditional land use, and rich plant and animal life form a dynamic environment that's both visually and ecologically unforgettable. Number 7. Stolby Nature Reserve. Stolby Nature Reserve, also known as the Krasnoyarsk Pillars, is a testament to Siberia's untamed beauty and biodiversity. This protected area covers more than 116,000 acres and is famed for its dramatic rock spires that attract climbers, hikers, and nature enthusiasts, drawing over 200,000 visitors annually. Located within the East Siberian taiga ecoregion, Stolby experiences a subarctic climate with cold winters and short, mild summers. The reserve contains about 740 vascular plant species and 260 types of mosses. Dense forests of fir dominate the region, creating the classic dark green canopy of eastern Siberia. Its 290 vertebrate species include red-backed voles, sable, Siberian musk deer, and the hazel grouse. Animals from forest steppe zones, such as long-tailed ground squirrels and roe deer, also reside here. Raptors like golden eagles and peregrine falcons glide above. In 2019, Stolby's status was upgraded to National Park, reinforcing its value in conservation and wildlife care. Now let's move to Number 6. St. Kilda. You wouldn't just stumble into St. Kilda. It's out there. Way out in Scotland's Outer Hebrides, this remote group of islands, Hirta, Dun, Soay, and Borare, stands defiant against the North Atlantic. Formed by volcanic upheaval and sculpted by brutal weather, it's home to the highest cliffs in the UK and one of Europe's most untouched ecosystems. Nearly untouched by human activity, it's become a stronghold for seabirds. Around 30,000 northern gannet pairs, 49,000 leeches storm petrels, 90% of Europe's total, and 136,000 puffins all breed here. The now extinct great auk once nested here, last seen in 1840. No trees grow on St. Kilda, but over 130 flowering plant species survive, including the rare St. Kilda dandelion. The windswept soil also hosts 160 bryophytes, 162 fungi, and nearly 200 lichens. Marine life thrives offshore, and on Soay Island, a rugged population of 200 primitive sheep continues to survive, short-tailed, self-shedding, and tougher than they look. What do you think about this ecosystem? Let us know. Number 5. Lord Howe Island. Resting in the Tasman Sea about 370 miles east of Australia's mainland, Lord Howe Island curves into a crescent barely 6.2 miles long and just over a mile wide. Despite its modest size, the island hosts landscapes more diverse than much larger regions. Formed by underwater volcanic eruptions 7 million years ago, it stands as the last remnant of a massive seamount, now worn away by waves and time. The island is crowned by twin peaks, Mount Gower at 2,870 feet and Mount Lidgebird at 2,549 feet, rising steeply above emerald lowlands and turquoise lagoons. Its remote setting has allowed more than 240 native plant species to evolve, over 100 of them endemic. Palms dominate its greenery, including the world-renowned Kentia palm, curly palm, and rare high-altitude species like the little mountain palm. The island's wildlife is equally unique. Lord Howe's stick insect, once believed extinct, still survives. Rare bird species like the Lord Howe woodhen have also made a slow comeback. Number 4. Yosemite Valley. Yosemite Valley is a masterpiece carved by ancient glaciers. Home to North America's tallest waterfall, Yosemite Falls plunges a staggering 2,425 feet. It's especially breathtaking in spring when snowmelt fuels the cascade. Other falls like Bridal Veil, Tenaya Creek, and Yosemite Creek add to its ever-changing scenery. The valley's biodiversity is impressive. Forests of yellow pine and broad meadows create ideal conditions for countless plant and animal species. Dominant conifers include ponderosa pine, lodgepole pine, white fir, and incense cedar, alongside the towering giant sequoias of Mariposa Grove, some over 2,000 years old. The forest floor blooms with shrubs like manzanita, Sierra gooseberry, western azalea, dogwood, and wildflowers, including miner's lettuce, California poppy, and Indian pink. This botanical variety sustains a thriving ecosystem. Black bears, coyotes, bighorn sheep, and mule deer roam the terrain. Mountain chickadees, juncos, and woodpeckers flutter through treetops, while reptiles and amphibians complete the valley's natural richness. In simple words, it's like a paradise on Earth. Number 3. Christmas Island. Located in the Indian Ocean, roughly 960 miles northwest of mainland Australia, Christmas Island is a compact ecological treasure covering just 52 square miles. The island, formed from an ancient volcanic peak, is cloaked in dense rainforest, 63% of which is designated national parkland. Its isolation and minimal human activity have shaped a unique and thriving biosphere. Christmas Island is best known for its crabs. More than 50 species live here, with about 30 being land-based. The most famous is the red crab, once numbering around 120 million. Each year, these crabs march en masse to the sea to spawn, turning the forest floor crimson. Coconut crabs, Earth's largest terrestrial arthropods, also dwell here, known for cracking coconuts with their powerful claws. Seabird populations are just as iconic. The red-footed booby, brown booby, Abbott's booby, and the rare Christmas Island frigate bird all nest here. Together, these species reflect the island's exceptional role in marine and terrestrial biodiversity. Number 2. Mount Roraima. This place doesn't look real. It looks like a lost world someone carved out of the sky. It sits at the meeting point of Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana, topping out at over 9,200 feet. The flat summit and sheer 3,000-foot cliffs make it a classic tepui, a tabletop mountain formed by ancient geological forces and shaped by relentless erosion. Its isolation is what sets it apart. At the base, dense rainforest teems with tapirs, monkeys, anteaters, and sloths. As you climb, vegetation thins into bromeliads, mosses, and carnivorous plants like the Roraima pitcher plant. The summit is misty, wet, and strange, a landscape of shallow ponds, algae-crusted rock, and plants that live off insects instead of soil. Unique amphibians, bush toads, and lizards thrive here. Even the caves hold specialized spiders, bats, and centipedes. Evolution plays differently up here. Every species that survives this plateau has written its own survival manual, and none of it looks like anything below. Number 1. Borneo. The island of Borneo remains one of the planet's most untamed frontiers. As the third largest island in the world, it stretches across Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei. The Malaysian territories include Sabah and Sarawak, while Indonesia's Kalimantan spans 5 provinces. Borneo's geological history dates back to the Pleistocene and Holocene epochs, when lower sea levels once linked it to mainland Asia. As waters rose, the island was cut off, paving the way for extraordinary evolutionary shifts. Its mountainous core runs southwest to northeast, rising to peaks like Mount Kinabalu, which towers above 13,000 feet. The island's rainforests, some of the oldest on Earth, hold unmatched biodiversity. From coastal mangroves to peat swamp jungles, the layers of life are endless. In the canopy, hornbills and monkeys move through ancient branches. On the ground, 288 species of land mammals roam, 102 of them bats, and 61 rodents. 44 mammals are found nowhere else. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in the next one.